Hey y'all, it's Lucy with another episode of The Juice, and today I have my boy Twerk on here. And yes, I said it, Twerk. He is a motivational twerker, and I will definitely explain what that means a little bit later on. But want to say hey?
What's up, everybody? Just so y'all know, I'm very proud of this woman. When I first met her, she was so shy to get on stage.
I know.
She was so...
Shit, I'm still shy unless I have some of this Lucy juice in my system. I get off stage and I'm like shaking the whole time.
But from where it's been a year now.
Yeah.
It's been a year since I've been with y'all. And where she's came from now to then, or then to now, it's been huge.
It's been a whirlwind. I'm kind of like settling into my confidence, my position.
Yes, you blossomed into this like
ray of sunshine.
Pretty much, yeah, 100%, and it's amazing. I'm proud of you.
Well, I guess let's jump right in. Your name is Twerk. How did that even come about?
Oh,
I mean, for obvious reasons, like we said, but how did it get started?
So, when I was a kid, I used to want to be a Chippendale dancer and a preacher.
A Chippendale dancer and a preacher. That is.
Yeah. Well, I got shunned from the church. So now I'm a motivational twerker. But going back when my mom was pregnant with me, she was in the choir, and they used to thought she was going into labor whenever those hymns hit perfectly, and because her stomach would be going crazy. So she told everybody I came out dancing. So, and my dad said anything an inch long doing 100 mile an hour going like I didn't anything.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I just,
Daddy with the inspirational words here.
Yeah, I had to know how to work it.
Well, that's interesting. And look, if y'all ever come to one of the Thomas Cain shows, you will probably see Twerk on stage, upside down on his head, twerking in the air. It's hard to explain. I'll have to show y'all a video, but it's definitely something you want to check out.
It's it's worth the soreness the next day.
You're an absolute mess. So how did we even meet? How did this even come about? I know one day you showed up on the bus and I had to do like 3 takes because I'm gonna tell y'all, he is identical to my brother, from the facial hair, the eyes, nose, the teeth, everything. It like shocked the shit out of me. I was a little put back for a second. He looks just like my brother.
So actually I was sitting at La Coretta's in Ponchatoula, and I was explaining to a guy that I did stuff for Chase Tyler, and he was like, "Man, you ever heard Thomas Cain?" And I was like, "No." And so then he ended up giving me the number to Thomas, and so I reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm kind of getting into videography," and then y'all were like, "All right, well, come on." And I think ever since I stepped foot on that bus, we've pretty much been family.
Yeah, no, literally. I mean, because you look just like him, I had this natural I was drawn to you, and you became immediately family.
Yeah, we went down to...
was it Grand Isle? Was that the first show?
Yeah, we went down
I have a whole mashup video, and I think the first thing on there is you on your head twerking upside down. And that got me a lot of views. So look, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, I showed up at the lot y'all had the bus at, and didn't know anybody from Adam pretty much. And pretty much like y'all welcomed me in, and here I am on the bus for 3 hours.
Yeah,
going one way, and ever since then it's been a roller coaster, but it's been fun.
It absolutely has. That bus though too, spending so much time on that bus, you have no choice but to become close and become family.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, always so much fun though whenever you're around. He has this natural thing, like he gets on stage, and he actually has something else that's coming up soon that we're going to talk about. But he gets on stage and he takes over. It's like something comes over him and he's wild. He is all over the place. And again, you're going to see so many different versions of twerking that you never even knew existed. He's got it all. But okay, so back to the motivational twerker. You do that on TikTok, right? You have a pretty big following on TikTok.
Yeah, I got 230,000 followers.
So how did that start? Was it like a gradual climb to having that, or did like you have something go viral? And
so I had Mufasa go viral.
What was that?
It's hey Mufasa, you better kill it. Everybody work now or twerk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that went viral in Nashville, and it got to the point to where I really didn't like the thirst of it. So then from my past childhood, being from being molested as a kid to going and being 10 or 12 kids, and then owning my own business I was 13, and then drugs and being in the basement in the cellar of rock bottom.
Wow.
Like, I realized that I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader.
Yeah.
And people's always listened. So I started giving motivational speeches, and some of those kind of went viral. And then it took off from there, really. I mean,
I love that, though. And actually, we've spent so much time together, and I've actually never known these things before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you definitely have been through it in the past.
And I definitely know I have a calling. And besides someone trying to give advice or not preach, but like just tell somebody that it's going to be okay, you can make it through it. I have the cover of a book of someone that other people can't reach.
Right. I mean, it goes much deeper than what you see, the fun, the craziness.
Yeah.
It does go a lot deeper than that.
Yeah. So
That's insane. But you're so good at like making people feel happy, and like you can be like, I can show up at a show and be in one of my little Lucy moods and be pissy about everything. And the moment you show up, you're cutting up, you're dancing on the floor, you're, just bumping everybody and having a good time, and you can't help but to be happy and in a good mood around you.
Yeah.
So that's a little superpower in itself for you.
It is. And there's times where I need that, but I know what it feels like to be at that level.
Yeah.
That lower level.
I want to say it was Robin Williams that after he passed away and went through all of that, there were a couple quotes that came out that said, he's always the one that's out there making people laugh and making people feel better, but you don't realize what's like behind that.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
realize what people are actually going through because you spend your time in your life trying to make other people happy and feel good. But at what point does someone do that for you?
Yeah, 100%. And that's 1,000% true because I don't want no one in this world to feel how I felt.
Right.
And go through what I went through, and it's hard because this world, every day, people's going through it.
This world is cruel too, so cruel.
Yeah.
And that was actually something I was going to ask you too. Like with you being such an influencer on social media, I know firsthand, and I barely have a following at this point, but people can be really mean. Like they can be rude. I had someone actually create a fake profile and comment on one of Thomas's pictures, making fun of my body, back fat, and just destroying me. And that really hurt. Like people's words, even though they're complete strangers, things that you say that sticks with someone and you can never take that back. So I think this is my time to tell people to just be kind. Like there's really no reason to be anything but kind.
So with, I'm not even that big on social media, but I know. Time for Lucy.
Oh yeah, we got to drink some of this Lucy juice.
Yeah.
I told you had to. It's really not that bad.
Watered down and
well, because he was like, look, I don't want it if it's going to be like we do at a show, because at a show what happens is I start with a single and then we just add a little bit to that.
Goes to a quadruple.
A little bit more than that, and it ends up being nothing but tequila. But anyway, yeah, back to the hate comments. How do you handle that? Do you respond or?
So that, to be honest with you, my grandfather and my great-grandfather and my dad, like, we had 5 generations at one point alive, and I got to learn a lot from old school, when a handshake meant something.
Right.
And I've always heard, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing something right.
This is true.
Yeah, like you're not doing something right if you don't have haters. And I kind of got off of social media or TikTok for a while because at one point I counted 27, 28 fake profiles of me.
They come out of the woodworks whenever you start doing something good. They want to feed off of your fame. They want to feed off of the good things that you're doing.
So it was that many fake profiles of me, and them sending messages to people, telling them to, hey, message me on Telegram or whatever. Like, I don't even know all of them.
Right.
And it was being perverted, as in asking for pictures. And there's one lady that spent over $40,000.
Oh my goodness!
Sent over to one person. Yeah, pretending.
And then that's your name on the line because
Exactly.
people are talking and. My goodness, $40,000 for one. Who are you? Because how do you have that much laying around to just send? Yeah. But my goodness,
Christina. When me and Christina make a post, almost every time she gets threats saying that like he's with me, like that's my man. He don't really love you. Oh yeah,
people are awful, absolutely awful.
Well, and I'm not even big on TikTok, or
you've got some followers up there,
but I'm not like Brad Pitt or freaking like.
But people see the good that you're putting out, and they want to be the first one to try and bring that down.
And but it's just ridiculous, and that I ain't gonna lie, it pisses me off. Like, I wish I could find out who it is. It pisses me off so bad.
Just let people live. That's the biggest thing. Just let people live.
It's like, stop.
Yeah.
And I even had one lady say, "You left me at the altar." Thinking we're supposed to get married.
Like delusional people too. There's a lot of that out there as well.
And so I like when people hate, but I hate when people try to beat me.
Yeah.
It's like, be you.
And also the hate comments, that's another thing too, is the more you comment, the more you're watching just to talk about me, you're helping my algorithm. You're boosting it. So I mean, keep doing your thing. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. I've had several females comment, what am I watching? How is a dude doing this? This is disgusting, all that. And then other watchers will start commenting. So that's just creating.
They start arguing with each other, and then you're out of it. And you don't even have to do any more work.
I'm getting paid per comment.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. So
that's funny. But hey, you brought Christina up. I actually want to bring that up. I noticed a huge change in you also whenever you got into this relationship. I feel like is that person. I feel like she's that person for you. That is what you were saying that you needed for all of this time. The person to be there and build you up and have your back, opposed to you having someone else's. So that's super special.
So before her, my last breakup before her, I was single for the longest time of my adulthood, I guess you can say. And I wasn't looking for nothing. She wasn't looking for nothing.
That's when it happens. I'm telling you.
And so it happened, and she has been so, she's been there. She's been supportive. She's been amazing.
And if y'all ever see them out and about, so she also has her own social media that we're going to get to in just a second. But if you see them out, she's the one that's very reserved and composed and calm, and she's standing there. Then you've got him upside down on his head, twerking all over her, dancing, pulling her all over the dance floor, and she just
totally
rolls
opposites.
with it. Yeah,
totally opposite. She does not like being center stage, and
it's that good balance that you need.
It is 100%.
I like that. I do.
Yeah.
But she has her own social media following, doesn't she? She's pretty big on there too.
She does ASMR, which I didn't know what that was at first.
No, it's addicting. I'm not even going to lie. There was a time that the soap cutting had me in a chokehold. It was 2 hours of just scrolling, watching people shave soap. What am I doing with my life right now?
Yes.
So I guess there's something for everyone.
There is.
But ASMR, no, that is cool. I've heard the ones where it's a whispering. Where people whisper for the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, she does that too?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out because it is entertaining.
Yeah,
There's something the way it hits your ears.
Has to have her nails done every week to where she taps, and then she does all this stuff with her.
That's so crazy though that people are so, I am people.
I thought it was weird at first, but I can see where it's soothing and
it is.
it puts you to sleep.
So I know we've been talking about this twerking thing for like most of the episode. I'm actually going to show y'all a little bit of what that looks like. I'm going to put a clip in right here.
I can't do all that.
What's your favorite motivational line?
My favorite motivational line would be, is that you don't have a dream out of nowhere. Like if God gives you a dream, that is a that is a target that He gives you to reach for. And like I would have never thought I would have been here off of shaking my butt.
It's entertaining though. They're gonna see. They'll understand where we're coming from.
And there's haters, but I never want. My biggest thing in life is I don't want to die with dreams that I could have reached standing next to me saying, I was right there. Why didn't you reach?
No, I believe that wholeheartedly. We say that all the time, Thomas and I. We've had to start over multiple times in our lives. We've quit our jobs, and we said we only get one chance to do what we want with it. So we have pretty much sacrificed everything, given it all to this, and we'll see where it goes. Because I never want to be 20 years down the road wishing that we would have put our all into it. Yeah,
taking that leap of faith,
taking the shot.
and I also have people all the time, ask me, how do you believe in Him and you can't see Him, or how do you have faith and you can't see it? And I always say, you have Wi-Fi? And they say, yeah. I was like, can you see Wi-Fi? They say, no. But you rely on it? Yeah. Okay, then.
That's a good, modern way of letting people understand it.
And right then they're like, damn, okay, I see you. I see what you're talking about. And no matter what, even if it's shake or twerking or whatever, and then they're like, well, you go and you drink, and you party. Well, guess what? God sit with the sinners, And I've had more religious conversations with sharing my stories at the bar than I have at a church.
Why don't you remind them that the biggest thing is not to judge? So why are you over here judging me?
Well, no, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. And that's one reason you ain't got to be in four walls to serve Him, And you don't have to go somewhere religiously. I feel like my calling is to tell my story, even if I'm drinking while I do it or dancing or whatever.
It's your story and it's your story to tell.
It's my story to tell. And then I reach people that a person in a suit with a big Bible can't reach.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back to the dream real quick, because you said if you dream it, it's going to happen and all of that. So I have one thing. Riley Green, if you're out there listening, I woke up from a nap the other day and I had a dream that you told me you were not going to be at Floribama on January 18th for Big Girl's retirement. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't show up, you're going to have a girl crying all over social media. So I'm gonna pretend that dream didn't happen, and Riley Green is going to be there.
Okay.
He is going to be there. I believe it.
What's the big girl? What
He's doing a retirement actually, and so there's going to be some artists that I guess I don't even know if I should have said that, but anyway, they'll be out there January 18th and taking turns on stage. We saw him at Floribama the last time Tommy played there, so he invited us up and. Right. Make some time of it.
Okay. All right. I might have to make a trip.
Yeah, for sure. So I see that you brought a picture here. Who is the picture, and what is the reason for bringing it with you?
So that is my dad. He passed away March 26th, 2021. He just went to the doctor 2 weeks before about his heart. Said he had a heart like a 21-year-old. And what was crazy is being number 10 of 12 kids, I'm the only one that lives out of state. And moved down to Louisiana. Dad was worried about me. Hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks. So on the way to work one morning, I called him. Or I texted him and said, hey, Dad, I just want to let you know I love you. Right then he said, what's wrong? And I said, nothing's wrong. He called me. So we talked all the way to where I worked at the time. And he said, Jeremy, he's like, I don't like you being this far away. Like you, I'm just worried about you. And I said, Dad, I'm good. You know, so we talked for about 30 minutes and still have the text messages and his voicemails. And
those are so special to keep.
They are. And so about 10:30, I got a call from my older brother, the oldest boy. And he was crying and couldn't really understand him. And he said, he's gone. And I said, who's gone? He said, Dad's gone. And I was like, you're crazy. I just talked to him. And he's like, no. He said, I've been doing CPR on him for the last 30 minutes. He's gone. And so even though Dad worked at Ford, my great-grandfather was Henry Ford's bodyguard.
Interesting.
My grandfather and Dad both retired from Ford. So I'm a big Ford. Ford's been a big part of our family. And so he retired from Ford literally just a couple years before. And 12 kids, 36 grandkids, 6 great-grandkids.
Whew.
And he always said, and that's his, hers, and ours. We've adopted from
Right.
Lithuania, Ukraine, and here in the States.
Oh, that's incredible.
It really is amazing. So going back, so Dad was a huge part of me because before he passed away, he said, Jeremy, you remind me. You remind me the most of all the kids of me. And Dad was a wheeler and dealer. He, like I said, he worked for Ford. But Dad always wheeled and dealed. Even though we started off with a house, and then this house ended up being a monster house as the family grew. He didn't know exactly how to do it or whatever, but we just tackled it. And
I can see you have that go-getter, nothing's going to hold you back, nothing's going to stop you personality.
It does. And he's never been a stranger. I remember my stepmom used to be aggravated because we'd go to Walmart or we'd go somewhere, and every aisle we went down, he either knew him or it was a cousin, or if not, he made a new friend, and never met a stranger. And I'm the same way. And
It's got to feel special, though, to know that, like, of all of the kids and the big family, like, you have the closest connection as far as, you know, having the same traits as him and being able to take the good things that he did and the way that he made people feel, and now you're able to pass that on and do the same for others. So
it was. And the thing is, though, with Dad, he used to get so mad at me. He used to want to rip my head off. And finally one day I said, Dad, I was like, why are you so mad? He said, damn it, because you remind me of me.
it's like looking in the mirror. I swear I
Yeah.
fight with my daughter the same exact way,
Yeah.
but that's the closest connections, too.
I seen, when my parents went through a divorce, I seen my dad at the lowest of the low. And I was only 9 years old. And I seen him pull a trigger twice. And it didn't go off, even though each bullet had that pin. And I seen him pronounced dead from taking too many pills, to where the funeral home was there to pick his body up, and he all of a sudden woke up pulling IVs out, just saying, you know, what's going on. And he had a wreck, and when he had that wreck, and we went to look at the car. It's gonna give you goosebumps.
I've had them.
We went to go look at the car, and it was a Thunderbird, and that Thunderbird was smashed. And my dad was a big man. He was 6'1", about 300 pounds, 320 pounds, and this Thunderbird was smashed. And we went to where the car was, looked at it, and all of a sudden there was a man there with a cane. And that man said, God, whoever was in that car, didn't make it. Like they're probably gone. And my dad said, well, you're sitting here talking to him right now.
I believe that everyone has a time and a place, and it's already established for you from the moment that you're brought into this world. His work wasn't done,
Well, that man, Dad turned around and said, you're talking to that man right now. And he said, you mean to tell me you were in that car? He said, yes, sir. He said, you have a chain. You have a life chain. And once your links are up, then you're done. And Dad, I remember Dad looking at me looking at Dad. We turned around, that man was gone. That man was gone.
Wow. I mean, I really do. That's...
And we went around the shop looking for the man. And everybody said, we didn't see no man here.
Like his guardian angel.
Yeah. And so Dad had extra, I don't want to sound weird, but Dad had extra lives.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Yeah. And I went through a phase where my dad looked at me and said, you ain't got lives like a cat. You got lives like 9 cats. You got 81 lives. And he's true. Obviously, leaving one of y'all shows, I got shot.
He got shot. Yeah, I actually, not that I forgot about it, but it's obviously not something that we talk about all the time. But yeah, I mean, you left the show, and where was it? New Orleans or something?
No,
where did you go?
It was La Berche Casino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
You are so lucky though, because I mean, considering where, where it could have been, you got the scar from it and all. That's just absolutely wild.
I say I got shot. I got grazed.
Yeah.
Getting shot.
I mean,
cooler.
a bullet hit you. That to me, that's getting shot. Yeah. I don't care who you are.
But Dad has always been that person that has been through it, and drug addiction, and then financially, broken. But Dad's always came out on top.
You seem like you've learned a lot from him. And you said that he had his guardian angel, and I feel like he's your guardian angel.
Oh, he is.
I mean, he's here with you today, and I mean, he'll be with you tomorrow too. You have something pretty big coming up tomorrow, and I think it's special that you're going to have your dad there on stage with you.
Yeah, he was a jokester. He made everybody laugh. I remember him walking into Lowe's one time and saying that he needed some 2x4s because he was doing a project, and one person said, well, how long you need them? And he said, I need them for a while. I'm building a shed. So he did right then the guy was like, I'm talking about the measurements. But Dad was he was a man of a big heart, teddy bear. But if you messed him over, then like we turn into mafia.
I feel like I know your dad truly just from this conversation, like being able to see the way that you talk, that you speak of him, and then knowing you the way that I know you. I truly feel like I've met this man before. He
was, I got a picture of me in overalls, and I put them side by side, and we look just alike, And I did a TikTok not long ago of the filter.
Oh, yeah, the old man filter?
Yeah.
Was it like spot on?
Oh, my stepmom couldn't watch it. Oh. She thought it was literally him. And you know what? Like, he only lived to be 62.
Sound like he touched a lot of hearts, though, in a lot of people's lives in that time, though. So
he did. The funeral home was crazy, but only lived to be 62. And if I only have the time that he had here, like, and I could do half of what he did, I'd be fine.
Well, you're well on your way. Tomorrow you have your first stand-up comedy show, huh?
I do.
How about that? How did that even come about?
I don't know. DJ Rhett reached out to me and was like, hey, I know you've done it a couple times at Southern Rhythm. He said 2 hours is hard to do. Would you be? I said, I would love to. So I've always felt like I belong on stage.
I believe that. I truly do.
Even though
You're a character.
I am. Even though, like, I guess I used to be shy, like during plays and stuff as a kid. But Dad even said before he passed, he's like, you there's bigger things coming your way. And I used to say I wish he was here to see it. But guess what? He is here.
He is, yeah. He'll totally be there,
1,000%.
cheering you on with the rest of us because I'm pretty sure we have a crew coming.
Yeah, and I was when he said that was just a couple weeks before he passed, and I was in a bad relationship at the time, and so it was a lot of mixed emotions. But yeah, when DJ Rhett reached out, of course, right then I was like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if DJ Rhett's reaching out, I mean, like, we're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. And then when I got off the phone with him, I was like, oh my God. Like,
what did I just sign up for?
What do I do? Like, I'm not worried about merch right now or nothing like that, but I was like, okay.
I know somebody when you're ready.
And so it's gonna be big. It's gonna be you're gonna bomb. I'm gonna bomb it. I'm gonna bomb it either in a good way or I'm gonna bomb it in a bad way.
Either way, look, the first one, it's going to be what it is, but your personality and just, I mean, like I said, your smile. You have my brother's smile, and it lights up the room, so I think that it's going to be great either way.
I feel like I've got a lot of recent good stories to tell and some past.
Are you nervous to be up there? Like, are you nervous at all to get on the stage?
I'd be lying if I told you a response right now.
You just don't know how you feel, right?
Yeah, because I'm always behind the camera.
Right.
You know, I'm always behind but I'm not scared to step right behind Thomas.
Kind of like hide behind your camera because you have that in your hand, which the contraptions this dude has. What did you even build that last one out of? I feel like I'm jumping all over, but was it like beer and concrete or something?
So I gave that one away.
Okay.
I gave that one to the young girl playing the spoons. I don't know if y'all were there that night. It was the black dude that played right before Wayne Toots.
Chubby Carrier.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gave
he's
that.
Awesome.
I gave that to his stepdaughter.
Okay.
Yeah, she loved it, and so I was like, okay, here you go. We took pictures or whatever, but I built a new one. But yeah, that one was built out of Natty Light.
Oh, I thought it was cool. Okay, Natty Light.
Natty Light and concrete. And with rebar and a baseball.
It's literally duct tape. Like it's what is it? Pipe, duct tape, electrical tape.
PVC pipe.
My goodness, it's everything. And the most recent one you have, how tall is that thing? It's probably like 5 feet. So it's almost like you're flying a drone at the shows, but you're just standing there with like this big contraption in your hand.
The bottom pieces are actually from my first one.
Okay.
Yeah, and so then I built that one the night before y'all's last show. Or the show that I was at.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've always been like that. Like dad and my grandfathers have always built their own stuff.
You are hands-on. I mean, that even brings up another thing. You do, what all do you do? So you have your comedy, you have your inspirational twerking, motivational twerking.
And then...
Is it landscaping?
Landscaping. I build retaining walls, waterfalls.
Woodworking.
Woodworking.
Our merch cabinet is by far my favorite merch cabinet I think I've ever seen. It's perfect. It's solid. It's wood, and then it has the lights run through it, and that's actually helped us a lot.
That's what
you're really creative.
Me and Dad used to do that stuff in the garage when I was a kid, and then I just now got to where I could do that stuff again. I still have yet to be to a car show. Because Dad had all kinds of muscle cars and classic cars.
But we'll have to do that. We'll have to get together and go.
Yeah, I've yet to, and this past birthday, pretty much the past couple birthdays has been hard because I was normally in the mountains in Gatlinburg for the rod run, And because Dad will always buy 2 or 3 classic cars, we'll always take 5 or 6 up there, and he'd sell them, and we'd wheel and deal and trade. And I had a golf cart with a 600 crotch rocket motor on it, and everybody was like, "What in the world is this?"
If you had to have one like collectible car, what would it be? Do you have a specific one that just
that I've had
speaks
already?
to you? No, one that you could have like a dream car. I already know what mine is. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, now you're bringing out the thug in me.
Oh, okay.
Because it would be a 1996 Impala SS sitting on fucking 24s, blacked out.
I mean, look, honestly, I believe it. I can see it. I can see you pulling up.
1,000%. It would be the round body.
Would you go as far as to putting like whatever that is, the hydraulics? Like I can see you like bouncing through.
No, I wouldn't do that. No. I would. If that was the case, it'd be like a 1964 Impala with the hydraulics.
I don't remember the year of the car that I'm talking about, but if anyone watches Supernatural, Dean, like his baby, that car, isn't it? I think it's an Impala. I'm being told over here it's a 67. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there on that same vibe, like blacked out everything.
But the only thing about hydraulics is just.
No, I definitely wouldn't do the hydraulics.
Yeah, it's just like I'd have some airbags, but like I don't like lowrider trucks. I feel like a truck is meant to pull and work, And
to be a little lifted. I agree.
Exactly.
Trucks should be a little lifted.
Yeah. So,
not too much because then you start to look a little douchey. But
I'm from a small country town, Westmoreland, but also I'm from Gallatin, which is a little gangster. So I'm a little cowboy gangster, which could route up a dangerous situation. Quick to draw, but then again, talk the slang a little bit. But straight up 1996, 1996 SS Impala.
Okay.
Blacked out 24s, donked out.
Whatever that means, donked out. Yeah.
Donked out. Yeah, I'll be bobbing and swerving. Yep.
So I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up or not. And look, if any of you are easily offended, go ahead and fast forward a little bit. But you want to tell them about our gardening story? The first time that you gardened with me. Poor thing. I didn't think he was going to survive it. I really didn't.
So we went over there to talk about a show, or I went over to talk about a show.
And I was gardening outside.
Yeah, you're gardening, and I took a bite of that garden, and
I could tell when it started to hit you, like you went from being like very talkative to surviving.
So I went from eye contact to down, staring at the floor, and the garden hit me. It was watering, and so I told them, I said, I need a minute.
I couldn't find him. I'm like, where did this dude go? He's over on the side of his truck, damn near laying on the ground, staring at, was it like a 3-leaf, 4-leaf clover or something?
It was a beautiful 3-leaf clover.
He has a nice connection to the 3-leaf clovers now.
Yeah, it was there. And we were having a good conversation.
You and the clover?
Yeah, me and the clover. And it was about 45 minutes later.
Dude, you were pale. I was like, do you need some water? You want some bread? Christina's like, what are you doing? Where are you at? And I'm like, look, I promise he's at my house. He's just fighting for his life right now.
Yeah, that is, I think that's a good thing on this earth to have those gardens. You just got to watch how much you intake.
This is true. How much you garden. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was, that was a fun time.
We've had some pretty adventurous times. I will say that. Like, it's always such a good time whenever everyone's together.
We have.
We all vibe off of each other.
We've had some come together Jesus meetings, and then we've had some times to where it's like, okay, like let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun.
For sure. Okay, so you have this presence on TikTok, and like I said, you let people know what you want them to know about you. You do your twerking, the motivational. We see Christina on there from time to time, but is there anything that you think would be interesting for people to know that you haven't really like released to anyone yet? Just like a little secret, something about the twerker.
So really, and this goes back to so for so many years, I was 5 to 7 when I was being molested, and I just want to make this aware. I want to make it awareness, because and with
I wasn't sure if we should touch back on that or not.
No, it's fine. But if a kid comes up to you, especially your own kid, and says something, don't take it as they're making it up.
Right. I feel like everything like that, especially in today's world, like you really can't trust anyone in today's world. But if they come to you with something, you should at least investigate a little.
Well, and you can't. And then there was divorces going on. My parents, and then so my parents' friends was my stepmom and her husband, and then my grandma and grandpa was getting. So there's 3 divorces going on. All these kids, and I was one of the youngest, and they were like, he just wants attention, and so really it took me from being denied that not attention, but denied that, hey, like something's going on.
Take me
here.
seriously. Yeah, like I'm not just a kid that's running my mouth right now. Like this is serious.
Took me from being that to 20 years later, because not saying I was somebody, but in high school I was a big fish in a little pond. I mean, I was Mr. Point Guard, Mr. Baseball, Mr. Popular, most likely to succeed. I had all kind of superlatives.
Right.
But I didn't want to come out and say stuff.
That's it. There's such a stigma around it, like not being able to actually say these things because it's either brushed under the rug or people, like you said, say that you want attention. But I can imagine that like later in life, it does begin to affect you. Like because they didn't take it seriously, you can't get the therapy you need or the love and support from your family. And it can even have you like, just people that I know that have told me this story before, it can give you a really messed up sense of like relationships and security, and it really will mess with you for your entire life. So
and being that in that spotlight, of this person, like how can I come out and say stuff like that when I'm riding this Mr. Point Guard, Mr. Baseball home run hitter, all that, and like felt like I would ruin that,
right.
But in reality, when I was 27 and finally came out and was like, look guys, this is the shit that happened to me. Like this is for real.
It should be talked about more. I do agree with that.
And you talk about 1,000 pounds lifted off of me, and you talk about.
Did you finally feel heard after like 20 years or however long it was? You finally felt like someone was listening.
Not only heard, it was just releasing all that pressure.
Yeah,
like that pressure was just like everybody's seen this picture from the outside looking in, when really I was getting stabbed like every day, from stuff that I've kept in. And
that shows your strength in your character too, to be able to like take something that was so intense and so like hard on you, and to still be this great person with a great personality and succeed and play sports and do all of these things. I think that that's something that you should be proud of. Like, not that, you had to hide it for so long, but obviously be proud of the person that you are, even through all of that.
And I am, but that also goes back to Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Saying, that some of the people that make people laugh the most are the ones that hurt the most.
Yep.
And like I said, I hid that. And once I opened up and said it, which was me going through my first divorce, because me going through my first divorce was a time in my life to where I was hooked on cocaine, an 8 ball a day, a quarter of weed a day, plus a pint, plus a case. Like I was doing so much for 7 years, Like I tell everybody, my nose is worth more than Michael Jackson's.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh about that.
Yeah, but for real.
Yeah.
And like I finally was able to come out and say that, but like that took me through some hard times, not blaming anybody, but took me through trying to be accepted. And I got affiliated with some bad people that had to do some bad things.
Right.
And but once I was heard and came out and said it, it made me feel a whole lot better.
It allowed you time to heal too. I would imagine like there, it's only up from there. And you're doing incredible things. You really are. I mean, you're a very well-rounded person. Like I said, your personality is great. So regardless of what you've been through, we're all proud of where you are now.
Yeah, well, I appreciate
someone that knows you on that level.
It allows me to talk to strangers in a different way than anybody else. And sometimes Christina was like, that was too much information. And I was like, I don't care. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like, I'll tell them straight up, like what it is and how it is, and they can take it for what it's worth.
Well, we've went through so many emotions today. I mean, we've had some conversation. I've really enjoyed it. Is there anything you want to add or anything else you want to talk about? Get off your chest.
What I will say is that no matter what your dream is, you have to take that leap of faith. Like if you're just like the world famous Thomas Cain says, if you're working a job that you don't like, but you have a dream of something else, and even before I met him, I've really thought this: do it.
Yeah, just do it. You get one chance at this life.
What are you waiting on? Are you waiting on someone to hand it to you? Because ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing.
Nope.
Ain't nobody gonna hand you anything.
And when you do it yourself, you have so much more respect for it. You appreciate it, and it's something you're gonna hold on to forever. And you're not gonna, gonna let that dream fizzle out.
Don't get discouraged when you do it and you're starting at the bottom, because the bottom is the foundation. If you have somebody that gets you in and you automatically to the top, you ain't got no foundation.
Nope.
So the foundation is that's religion, that's relationships, that's life. You build that foundation and you stay there as long as you need to. And once you know that you're ready for that step up, go for it.
For sure.
Because you ain't going to crumble whenever hard time comes. And if you fail, good.
You learned something. You know what not to do again.
Because
pick up the pieces and keep on rolling.
I don't give a damn who you are, what you say. Everybody successful fails.
Well, I'm proud of you. I am. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've got to see a different side of you, and I'm glad we did this.
100%.
Let's cheers on some Lucy juice.
Oh, Lucy juice.
Yeah, look, you got to down it. No, I'm just kidding. You don't. You don't have to. Oh, wow. Okay, so we did.
Look, I got less than you now.
Well, I'm going to sip mine. I get in trouble whenever I do anything more than sipping. So anyway, I guess that wraps it up. If people want to follow you on social media, how do they do so?
So be careful. It's JTrout15. All right. Oh, that's on TikTok.
We'll link it. I'll find a way to link it whenever we post everything.
Yeah, it's not there's a fake profile that's at JTrout15.
Okay.
So that's one that I've been. To be honest with you, if I could go to TikTok, if I can go to their headquarters.
Don't make TikTok mad right now. Don't make them mad. Choose your words wisely.
I know, but you can't even contact them. I've been reporting them for 2 years now on this stuff. And they say we don't see nothing wrong with it. I said it's me reporting someone pretending to me,
right?
And they're like, we don't see nothing wrong with it. I'm like, okay. But anyways, JTrout15 on TikTok, Jeremy Trout on Facebook. I'm gonna get back on social media. It's just been a wild ride. So
we'll get you there.
Yeah.
That's That's what family's for.
Exactly.
All right, well, that was it for this episode of The Juice with Lucy. If you liked everything and you want to hear more, follow me on social media. I have all of them, honestly. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, anything that's out there. And if you did not like it, not my problem.
What's wrong with a little bit of crazy, a little bit of wild side, looking for a good time? She's a little hot